What is up, everybody? Sorry for the delay today. I had a thing come up and I had to take care of it. So I do not know how late this chat is, but how is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? We are live, and you are looking at day one of Vega Jr. RR Savvy, what's up? Rob, dude. As always, thank you so much, man. Hopefully you're still here. Hopefully you saw the time change. I apologize for that. We're not at our normal time. Let me get this in here real quick. And check my spelling and my typing. Both are not the best. Guys, what's up, buddy? Roxas, how you doing, man? And Juxtapose. So yeah, I'll set this up just for a minute, Roxas. Dude, it's so cool to have everyone here. This is awesome. I got to tell you, I'm a little spicy. In case you haven't been able to tell through my tweets and on Discord, and I even put it on. I even did a community post there on the YouTubes. I'm a little spicy about the general handling of the hood situation. And I want to be very clear. I think once we got to the point, I didn't like that they removed his fate seal. I did not think that was fair. I did not think that was in the spirit of what they told us updates champion buffs would be about. And I think that that took a key component of what was likable about him and why people had him ranked up. I did not like that. And then even in the review video I did, even though I really enjoyed Hood in his buffed form, I said, like, I'm not happy that I like this. I don't feel good about it. But I took it for what it was. And I remember even saying something to the effect of, but I'm going to trust that Kabam knows what they're doing, that they have a plan, right? They told us, well, we had to nerf Namor. We had to, because the numbers showed us he was being used in all these ways. And we can't buff Invisible Woman because she's not being used, or she was being used to the degree that we want her. And I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to take their wood for it. I'm still playing this game after 5 or 6 years or whatever it is now. And they've done a heck of a job of doing things I don't like, but it's enjoyable and whatever. And then they change Hood. And the message we get is that, well, it wasn't as popular as we had hoped. Like, they actually used the word popular. And I realize there's a lot of different definitions to that word. And so that's what I did not like, is how do we rely, like, what is the message going forward? What is the precedent that was just set? Is the precedent set that if 100 people are upset about it, then we'll revert? Or is the precedent that if a champion's no longer popular, we revert? Or is the precedent like, hey, we changed a core piece of this champion's utility, we made a mistake, we are really sorry, we're going to take our time and get this right, and we're going to get it right by all the people who enjoyed Hood previously, and we're going to get it right by all the people who enjoyed the 48 hours of him. If that's what they learned, hey, I'm a happy camper. Yeah, I wasted a lot of time making a Hood video, and I did remove it because I didn't want people to see it and then rely on it and be like, dude, this is wrong. And so I removed it from YouTube. I thought that was the responsible thing to do. But I have not heard that message from Kabam yet. Now, maybe they wrote it on the forums, and if they have, please let me know. I would feel a lot better. But I'm a little spicy, and I realize not everyone's going to agree with me too. So, guys, dude, thank you so much. Honestly tired of mini accounts. We're excited first. Yeah, so dude, I will tell you, and I think DLL just stopped in. I definitely want to, because I know he has his opinions on the Hood situation too. I want to let him have some time for that, of course. I will tell you what I'm doing here is, since starting this channel, I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It has reinvigorated my enjoyment of the game itself and even how I play it. And one of the questions that comes up so frequently is, you know, how did you handle 5-point this, or how did you take out 6-point this? And I'm like, I have no clue. I don't remember doing it. I truly don't. I mean, you folks saw me do 7.1. I don't remember most of it just because that's just not how my brain works. I don't know why, but it's not. And there's a very good chance, especially for Act 5 and Act 6, that I used units, and a lot of them. And so what I want to do, if this account, if this seems enjoyable to people and if I'm enjoying it, is I'll take it seriously. My main account will of course be my main account. I will prioritize that. It's where I'll do AQ and AW and these sorts of things. But I would like to try to progress to where I'm doing Act 5 and doing Act 6 and also getting a feeling for what it's like for someone who just started playing. What is that like? What is that experience like? So that way when people are asking me questions, I actually can have an answer aside from, I don't know, hey, go check out this person's channel or that person's channel, which is always good. But if you've been following me long enough, I've gotten myself in some hot water there because there's just a lot of things I don't know. So that was a lot. Sorry for the preachy, spicy intro. I actually might even do. Can I be the pepper? I would love some pepper to my salt. I am salty, and I will also admit part of it is that, dude, I stayed up super late. I think it was on like Tuesday night, putting together a HUD video, and I put aside some real life work doing that. And then I think yesterday was Wednesday. I spent a lot of time compiling fight footage and starting to edit down a full review video for him. So I put a lot of time into that too. And so to then just have them be like, sorry, it wasn't popular. I'm like, no, you make this game. You are the ones who are telling us that we get things wrong all the time, even though we have our own eyes and thumbs who are telling us we are correct. You're the ones saying, no, we have all these numbers. We've done all this research. We know what we're doing. And then now you're saying like, oops, like, I want more than oops. I want more than oops, I did it again. I want more than Britney Spears in a plaid skirt with a belly button white button down shirt on. I don't want that. That's what I don't want from Kabam. I don't want oops, we did it again. Let's put it that way. Okay, DLL, I yield the floor, and I am going to work my way through book 1 now. Here we go.
It's so weird seeing those things blacked out.
What thing?
Summoner level.
Oh, this is bizarre. And by the way, I did have something. Clown, did I not put it into defense? Okay, so I do have 2 phones. I believe I should be able to just log in with my other phone here and place a defense, right? For those who can't, if those you can't see, here's me on my main account. So, Sai, I want to be really clear, too. I'm not upset that he was changed back. I think once you get to that point, it was probably a good thing because I think it was wrong to change. And I'm using the term core, and maybe DL, maybe that's something you and I can talk about over the stream. Is like, how are we going to define that, right?
Yeah, it's difficult.
It is difficult, and it's a bit, I believe, tenuous. Jason, you're the lawyer. I'm sure you could define it better for us here.
You are also a lawyer.
Well, a long time ago. A long time ago. Okay. Is like, I think once I don't think they should have changed it to begin with. I'm glad that they've now reverted back so that people aren't ranking him up. And I'm glad that they're going to keep it in a future buff. I'm actually happy about all those things. What I'm unhappy about, Sai, is how did we get here to begin with? And that I want more than, again, I'm going to keep doing Britney Spears because I think it's funny. I want more than oops, I did it again. I want more than that. That's what I'm saying. I want some guiding principles that I can rely on as a person who plays this game and uses resources to level up champions and to obtain champions. I want something that I can rely on and say like, no, I can rank up Doc Ock because I know he can power control like this, and that will not change. That's what I want. Or I'm still upset about the Namor situation. I'll be honest. I'll be completely forthright. I want to know I've ranked up this champion and I chased him through crystals. Chased. I mean, it was a bloodbath on my side of things. I want to know that the one I just spent all these dollars on getting this champion, that this champion is going to be what I think I purchased. So, okay, now I really will. I'll place my defense and then we'll move on with book 1.
Yeah, I mean, that really is... Yeah, I mean, you know where I stand on this, which is that they shouldn't have taken away the Fate Seal in the first place. And as always, they should have actually tested things. I mean, no matter that's really the core of the problem is that no matter what Kabam says about numbers or anything else, anyone who pays attention to this game has always known they do not test certain things. If Nick Fury has come out on like every update in the last 6 months, or at least 5 of them, with his persistent charge bugged, then if I were running a company and I were about to push another update, I would say, hey, did anyone load the update, play the game, and make sure Nick Fury isn't broken? And apparently, that does not happen there. There are just certain things that they do not check, and I think they rely too much on numbers that say what they think they say, and not on people opening the game and trying to play it and going, oh, that's not what I expected. And because of that, everything else gets messier, right? Because I don't think they should have made the change they did. However, once they made that change, I like to think that what happened is because they didn't have an absurd amount of evidence, they looked over everything that we were saying to them, that they were getting from the community, and they didn't just change it because people were mad, is my hope. I think that they actually went, oh, this was legitimately a bad idea. We were wrong, you were right. Thank you for proving it to us. We're going to fix it. And then they set it back, and now hopefully in the future we should get a version of Hood that is the best of both worlds. Because I loved the new Hood. He was so much fun. I was clearing variant 6 and I was like, this dude is amazing.
Yeah. It sounds to me like you and I are coming from slightly different, or we're framing the question a little bit differently, but ultimately we're coming up with the same places. We're glad that they reverted the change, because our hope is that they learned something, right?
Yeah. My hope is that they changed it because they were truly convinced.
Yes.
But then, the thing is, well, what will convince them next time? And I understand, you and I have talked about this because Civil Warrior actually did lose a, quote, a utility. They changed the way he interacts with bleed and poison, arguably to a place where it's worse. And I actually wouldn't mind if they changed that back, but I don't know.
So that,
but he also... Sorry, go on.
No, yeah, because let me say a few things, and a couple people have joined. Max Raid, that's awesome. And another sort of raid. How interesting. Thanks, Antigirl. What's up, buddy? Hey, Vega, Black Widow, Deadly Origins, or Mole God? Mole God. And I could say that unless things change. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow it gets changed. But in this exact moment, as the game exists right now, I would say a mole, and I'm going with Mole Dude. Someone in a chat called him Mole Dude, and I was like, he does look like a dude. Guy walking around that short with those glasses on, that's a dude, in my opinion. Is this account free to play? I don't believe it will be, because my intention is to try to, as quickly as possible, get to Act 5 and Act 6. Definitely not going to be opening cav crystals on it, that's for sure. But I could see me wanting to try to, as quickly as possible, get to where a player who is at Act 5 or Act 6 may reasonably be. The whole point of this account for me is to, one, of course, have fun and do this, but two, have as close to the experience of a player going through Act 5 or Act 6 without a massive account as possible. That way I can truly give advice and see what that experience is like. And then let's go. Oh, Max, dude, what's up? Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I misread the first Max raid, and now that I see it with your name, I understand. Thanks so much for everyone for stopping by. We are starting a new account, and it's basically experiential learning here. And Mr. Clown, I saw what you're saying. I am not trying to say that those are the exact same two scenarios with the purchase of Namor and Hood being already on my account. What I'm saying is that I feel like there is a similarity in that the one thing I'm learning from this is that Kabam can and will change whatever they want, whenever they want. And what I personally, as a consumer and a player of the game, and definitely a consumer, is I would like some sort of principles that they will be held to. And as of right now, I am not seeing what those principles were from Namor. What we were given was that he needed to be tuned down because of numbers. Remember, there was this whole thing about numbers in the game and their statistics and how they were interpreted and read, was that he needed to be tuned down. And that I did not see any of that with this hood. The explanation that was provided in game was that they thought they had made a champion who was going to be very popular. And that he maybe didn't achieve such popularity. Like, did he not become homecoming queen or king? Queen or king? We don't know, right? But is that what happened? Like, they held a vote and he didn't win it? Like, or was he not played enough in a 48-hour period of time? Like, what was the standard for that? Because that's what I would like to know when future buffs are made or not made. That's it. So, and again, I realize it's a much easier am I enjoying, let's not do this right now. All right. So here's a question. Because I'm trying to move through quickly, should I 100% this stuff or should I just book it through? I'm thinking just book it through.
For now.
New account grind, day 7-day Cavan collector. No. And what's up, Vega deal? Any tips for 5.4? This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. 5.4 Medusa. 5.4. If I don't have Medusa, who would be a good option for Ultron? Was Blade able to handle that? I recall Blade feeling like he was the answer for that whole thing.
It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I used Hyperion.
Yeah.
I also used Hyperion for a lot of things that people found difficult with Hyperion, so maybe that's not the best answer.
Well, it might be because of the evolution of the game and the community. You know what I'm saying? Is like, I think part of that was where we were as a community. Like right then, had anyone even heard of reparry? But we were probably all accidentally doing it from time to time. Whereas now it's a reasonable skill for a player to have.
Yeah.
What is Mr. Fernandez saying? So
he's saying that. Oh, okay.
No, well, hold on.
That was an actual question.
No, I think it. No, yeah. Sorry, it was more of a. I'm reading while trying to play at the same time. I hear you, Mr. Fernandez. But here's the thing with that is, I think that assumes a few things. I think it assumes that players of this game have had similar experiences with which to draw upon, and maybe that's true, and maybe that is fair. But I also know from my own personal experience that it doesn't apply. The last real video game that I played where I felt like I actually understood the game and how it worked and how it moved along was the World of Warcraft. And this was like 10 years ago. So maybe I'm the outlier. And if I'm the outlier, that's fine. And I think I need to take that into consideration.
You're not. I have a list of examples lined up.
Okay. So like there has been I will even say that like I was saying, part of why I'm doing this account is because when I started playing this, I was like, oh man, this game's amazing. I can just buy units and I can get through all the content. Look how good I am at this game, which is partially my fault. I'm obviously making fun of myself. But even just this idea that you could buy things in a game was new to me. And so it took me a long time to kind of even catch on to like, what is happening here? Like I am being programmed to log on a certain amount of times in a day. I am being programmed to expect a deal to come out at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every time of the day. I actually am the dog in Pavlov's dog. And it took a long time. And so I think that translates over to understanding that there's going to be tweaks and things like that to the game for game balance. And if I accept that premise, I want to know what the justifications are for the tweaks, and I'd want them to be consistent and to make sense.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
The other thing is that, like, in every game that I can think of, like, I've never gotten really into Soul Calibur, but I've played that a bit, and I know that they update, like, how hard individual hits and combos hit, how many frames they take. Like, they do that kind of stuff a lot. I've played a bit of Grim Dawn, which is similar to Diablo. They change and they change what every single effectively character in that game can do, and the gear that goes on it, like once a month type of thing. With Total War Warhammer, which is a strategy game, they go through and they'll do things like change melee defense values by 2 on a given unit. But that's the thing, they do it like they do a complete pass for the entire game once or twice a month. And so if your character gets messed with, A, it probably wasn't that much because they're going to come back and do it again in a month. And B, like, if that's the standard, then you have an expectation they're doing it a certain way. I saw yesterday Clown made the reference to Magic the Gathering, and I don't think that that's a particularly good analog here, because there isn't really such a thing as a competitive Magic the Gathering player who doesn't spend money. But like most players on this game probably don't spend money for most of the things that they get. And it's a different dynamic than when you start a hobby where you're expecting to spend money regularly, you're expecting to gamble regularly, and you know that they make regular balance passes. That's very different from something where a lot of people expect not to spend money as their default, and the standard is that characters get tweaked maybe once every few years, if that.
Yeah, those are great points, and definitely like a frame point that that I don't have. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. Is I've just started this account, and I cannot progress unless I press this open crystal button. There's been a bunch of other things where I could not progress unless I did it, but they were all teaching me how to play the game, like lights attacks and heavy attacks and special attacks. And so I have gotten used to, this is teaching me how to play the game. Like, right, as a new player, you're like, oh, they're teaching me how to play the game. They're teaching me how to be better at this game. It's continuous. There's been, I think, about 20 of these by now where I just could not move forward in the game. You literally can't. I'm pressing, like you can see me, I'm pressing the buttons. Oh, you can't see it, but you get the point. And now I have to open a crystal. And I'm like, oh, all right, sure. And again, I have to spend the units that they've given me for free to open this crystal. So that's a little bit of what I was talking about. For those who are like, dude, you're not being programmed. We weren't programmed. Well, I don't know. But enough ranting. I think that's enough salt from me. But I want to hear what you all think. And thank you, Mr. Fernandez, for giving your opinions and stating it. Like, this is the way we're going to learn, is through respectful dialogue and attempting to understand each other. I'm not trying to prove myself right. I want to give my opinion and my perspective, and then take in other perspective and opinions and learn from them. Work, what is up, man? Dr. Doom, do I prefer Skill Corvus or Cosmic Mole God? That's funny. I prefer Mole Dude. I prefer Mole Dude. Drago, what's up? Briefcase, hey, what's up? Confusing. Great call about Magneto being great for that Ultron. Sty, congratulations on Cav. That is awesome. Mr. Fernandez, time is money. Even free-to-play players are spending money through. I agree with that concept for sure. What I'm saying is I think there's a whole different way of framing this. I guess we should open this premium hero crystal, right? Yeah, we just paid for it. Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
At least as a player like myself, when I started playing this game, I was from the whole idea of I would spend $60 or $40 for the game. And I owned the game and I played it. Or the WoW one was, I believe I bought the game and then there was like a $15 a month subscription, if I remember correctly, 15 or 20 or something. I don't know, something like that. And this is just so incredibly different. It's like its own, I can't think of the word. You probably can if you're listening, of what I'm talking about. I know this will not be a free to play account, but there will not be any Cav Crystal openings on it. That is for sure. The idea behind this is to experience as much of what it's like for a brand new player. And then I would like to, as quickly as possible, get to Act 5 and Act 6 so that when people are asking me questions about it, I can give legitimate answers from my own experience, and particularly what it's like when you don't have this massive roster. By the time I got to definitely Act 5, I had a massive roster, and so always had the best option for every fight. And so that is the point for me. That is the point for me with this account. We'll see how quickly I can move through things, because I am in a pretty serious alliance. And of course, I'm not going to forego my responsibilities there of AQ, war, and progressing and being helpful to them. All right, 2-star Juggernaut. Rohit, I'm free to play and spend time, which calms me more. Yeah, and so I think that makes a lot of sense. Like as this channel has progressed, as I enjoy it more and more, as I enjoy more and more the communication, and therefore I'm enjoying more. What's happened for me is I'm enjoying more about getting really in depth with the game itself, the knowledge, how to play, the intricacies, the nuances. As that's happening, for those who've been with my channel a long time, I'm opening significantly less crystals. And I do think those go hand in hand. I do think there's a bit of a cause and effect there. I think there was a question about the 4-star Warlock. I think you can almost never go wrong ranking Warlock, just for what that's worth. If it fits the content you're going for and those sorts of things, I think Warlock is a fantastic champion. And I just can't imagine them not helping you progress in the game. Jason Fernandez. Well, who cares if there's linguistic subject? They are practical ones. I think
We're
there's
going back and forth.
Cool, good. And here, jump back in. I'm gonna keep playing here. And, sorry. One last thing is, if anyone has advice, I'm just gonna continue to work through quickly. But if you think it's smarter to 100% these things, let me know.
Basically, all I was going to say earlier about what's-his-face, about Hood or Civil Warrior, is that I do think if a champion is truly, borderline useless, so to speak, that it doesn't matter that much what they do to them. Like, the point I was making the other day was with Diablo. Diablo actually has stun immune, which is something that I forgot about when I was talking about the new Hood is the only stun immune mystic. But Diablo is so bad and so hard to use that he's not a realistic option for that. And so if he eventually gets buffed and that is removed from his kit, I won't care. And I won't think that it's nearly as important as the Fate Seal was for Hood, because a passive Fate Seal was actually unique as far as I know. And so I do think that even if they don't draw a hard line in the sand about never ever taking a line of text out of a champion's abilities ever again, that there is still a line they can draw there that would have a real functional impact.
Or you know what else they could do is they have this, if they had like a group of players who were really good at the game and knowledgeable and who had like opinions about the game and stuff, if they would maybe let those players test things out first, I bet you they could save themselves a lot of problems.
That sounds like a really interesting idea. I wonder if anybody has some in with Kabam, maybe reach out to them, see if they might be interested in that.
Like if, let's say there was a collection of some of the best players in the game, right? And they could get them in there and they could listen to them and just get their advice for free. Like, man, I mean, that almost sounds too good to be true. For those who don't understand, of course, I'm trying to be funny, that they have access to some of the best players in the game with the CCP. And for what we can tell, they did not get much time to even test this stuff. You know what I should do, DL? In fact, do you have an ability to pin a comment saying that this is not necessarily going to be a free-to-play account? But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, thanks. That way I can just point to it each time. Rob is saying, Ghost or Human Torch rank 5, both awakened. Oh, man. Rob, the only reason why I would think Human Torch, and hear me out on this one, is I imagine you probably have Abyss to do, and he is so incredibly valuable in Abyss, while Ghost is not. I love Ghost. I think she's probably in general a better champion, but you're really splitting hairs at some point. So yeah, so I would lean towards Human Torch, but that's just me. Let's see if other people agree.
Turns out I cannot pin, but I've got it copied and
Here.
I can paste it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I wonder why you can't pin comment. That's interesting. RR, thank you. I did do a little grooming recently. I appreciate someone noticing. My wife was just like, "Hey,
Oh, Jesus, really work?
what happened?"
6-star 6 zones in the incursions rewards now. However, they're replacing Ultron with Apocalypse. I think our sabotage runs are going to get a lot shorter.
Wait, how many 6 stones? And
He linked it. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, and
I'll read it for you.
Because incursions reset weekly, correct? So is that a weekly thing?
I think it's every 5 days. Zone 10, it says 5 sig stones. 10 says, or zone 15's is 10 6 stones. It does not say stone crystals, so that sounds like 6-star generics.
You've got to be kidding me. Oh wait, Mr. Fernandez is saying every 30 days. You can get a total of 30 every 30 days.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That is under a 30-day objective. They just, in my opinion, did a poor job of formatting it.
And how far?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Do you have to get to a certain distance, or is it something where you could just repeatedly do like eight rooms or 8 zones or whatever?
No, if it's a solo objective, then once you claim it, it'll be gone. So if you can regularly hit zone 10, then you get 5 extra sig stones a month. If you push all the way to 15, which is not easy, especially now that zone 15 will mean killing 3 apocalypses with random buffs, you get 10. So I guess this was their answer to us saying it would have been nice to have more sig stones in Cav EQ. And yeah, work is right. If you clear zone 20, you get 15.
Not 15 additional, you get 15 in total.
You know, it's not terribly clear to me. I think it might be additional.
Wait, Kabam wrote something and it's not completely clear? Are you sure?
This is honestly like the laziest post I've ever seen in terms of formatting. They're normally better than this.
That's a lot. That says a lot. You know what, though? They have been saying that they wanted to increase kind of the reward. Wow, I messed that word up. Relevance for in-game players of incursions. And that will definitely do it. Because of the incursion tournaments we're doing, I was considering ranking some champions with incursions in mind. And this will go a long way towards me. I'm considering Horseman Cable for that rank 3. I'm considering taking Aegon 2 Sig 200.
You know what else is really going to matter now?
What?
Odin.
That's right, because it's per fight 1, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess I'm opening features for as long as for the foreseeable future.
MSD is saying they're generic stones. That's what I think you guys were referring to too, right?
Normally, they say signature stone crystals if they're not generics. They have not here. So if they are not generics, they need to edit that ASAP.
Yeah. Wow. Incursions. I mean, I've been enjoying incursions. That's a relatively recent thing for me. Because they really did not have a relevance for me. Like, it was like, oh, that's fine, but that's a lot of time. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not streaming, and the rewards were not good. At least they did not help my account, right? So if I had to decide how I was going to spend my time, that was not it. And now I'm very intrigued by them. Plus, I was already enjoying them anyway because of the sabotage format, and also I think they're a great way to learn the game. Like every time we play, I learn at least 1 or 2 new things about champions and their interactions. let's see, Tiger's going to be an MVP for those APOC rooms. You know who else? You know who else would have been really great about it? And I'm not going salty on this one. We've done that enough. If you're interested in my hood kabam situation, and let's be clear, I don't think the pro hood or anti hood or whatever group you're in, I don't think those people should be fighting. I think the party I'm upset with is kabam, not the buff or don't buff hood. But hood would have probably been excellent for that fight too. And
so apparently,
and he probably will be.
Ultron's domain.
Okay.
So somebody said they're adding Apocalypse to the rooms, and I misinterpreted that. What they're actually doing is adding everyone new. So Professor X, Airwalker, Immortal Hulks, all of them.
All those defenders.
Still Ultron bosses. However, some of those are going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Like imagine you have the compounding harm hack, so that every time you place a damaging debuff, you also place an armor break, and then you run up against a Dragon Man boss. Can't use Torch. Or at least not unless you have the pre-fight.
You're really gonna have to think that through. I did see somewhere though, didn't they? Is the compounding harm the same? I feel like I've got like some weird memory on this.
They updated Impact Purge, and they made Pyrokinetics and Lightning Fist more controllable, but I believe Compounding Harm is still the same.
Okay. Oh, maybe
they
it was.
Did add a whole bunch of other ones though.
BG will be doing incursions, whatever. Yeah, that would make sense. Are you speculating that, or that's been said? In MSC, yeah, this is significantly more relevant. What's up, Ghost Dog? It's funny as I jump around the chat and I realize I might have already said these things, but it is what it is. True. So I hear you, man, on the 6 stones, but here's the thing with this. And if you're not familiar with my main account, I will admit, I think I definitely at times have fit the definition of a whale. But I was a whale who was very concerned with game balance and progression, because I wanted the game itself to do well, right? And one of the things that started happening to me, I would probably say like in the middle of last year, was towards the time I decided to start a channel, was I became someone who was like, I'm actually happy that we're not getting all of these 6-star, 6-stone offers coming out in the game. And the reason is I felt like that was I don't know if it was the best, but it was a good way to slow down whales, right? Because I was in an alliance where like we were placing like rank 3 6-stars with like Sig 200 defenders, like just on top of each other, like significant amount of them. And we'd be going up against alliance like I'm in now, like 4 Loki. And they often didn't even have attackers like that. They'd be attacking with 5 stars and we're placing these 6 stars. And so I felt like it was really affecting competitive mode of game. And then the AQ1 rewards were just so much better than the rest of the AQ. And it was like, how much do we need? Like, I don't need to have this to enjoy the game. And I don't feel like that's good for game balance, because then content comes out, we steamroll through it, and other people can't. And then in a competitive thing like war, I mean, they just weren't approaching the game with even close to the same weapons, let's say, right? And so there might be better solutions to it than slowing down the rate of 6 stones in the game. But right now, I can't think of a better way to slow down those champions, right? Like if these summoners really want to drop $10,000 on Odin crystals, and honestly, they're probably still only going to have them at like 660. Like I saw this happen. Then that's fine, right? I think that's such an outlier that it's different. And I think slowing down the rate of purchasable 6 stones and even just how quickly they can be obtained through playing the game, I think is a good way to slow down the gap between the the moderate whale and the regular player of the game.
Yeah.
In fact, do you remember like DL? I used to talk about that in one of our shared chats. Of
yeah.
Go for it.
Well, and I had mixed opinions on it because back at WoW when I still spent, sometimes, but I picked my shots.
Yeah.
The one thing that I felt let me keep up with you guys at all was picking strategic arena grinds once or twice a year and buying Sigstone deals. Because then as long as I was really careful with my resources, then I would have like 3 or 4 champions at the same level as the 10 or 12 you had.
Yeah.
But I actually felt somewhat relevant. But then that was actually then featured Cav crystals dropped and Sigstones went away. They never added them to unit deals like we expected them to.
Yeah.
There was no way for me to hold on.
Yeah, it was the Cav crystals that really just widened that gap tremendously, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I still
they were
stand
the
by.
biggest thing.
I enjoy this conversation in chat. Please, jump in, give your opinions. I still stand by. I currently don't see why they don't just have every single offer that's offered. You can either purchase it with units or you can purchase it with money. You can't purchase it with both. You can't purchase it twice. So if a 6 stone offer comes out and it's for 36 stones, right? Let's make that $100 and let's make it 6,000 units. So still even charge more units because you can earn units in the game. That seems to be something that's established in the economy of the game. So stick with that. But I don't know. I still just don't get it. I understand that the motivation is to get people to spend money, not to spend units they've earned. I understand that, but I don't know. To me, that would feel like a better way to ensure that there's not a huge gap between the whales and your moderate players. Doom speculating. Oh, dude, but that's such a great point. That's such a great point. He does need them. He wants them. The guy does everything he can to earn them in game. He's definitely going to be doing that. And he's definitely got the skills to get to room 20. I mean, I realize how difficult that probably will be. But if someone has the skills to do it, it's definitely him.
That's actually a point I was about to make. Some of the most expensive items in the entire game are incursions, revives, and potions.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not going to get to zone 20 on our sabotage runs. That's just true. That's incredibly difficult. It is possible to get to, zone 15 and zone 20, but I think that especially, especially if we're reading that correctly and you get another 15 stones in zone 20, so therefore the difference between 15 and 20 is that 20 doubles your reward, then I think you're going to see a lot of, especially relatively skilled whales, of which there are quite a few.
I know a couple.
Skilled whales are going to end up, getting to zone 15, very likely without items, and then healing up because they cannot ignore that bait at the end.
I feel like on this one I can speak for us. I feel comfortable doing that. I rarely do feel comfortable speaking for a whole group. I believe we will more than happily not ignore that bait. Mr. Fernandez, do you agree with that?
Because I wouldn't.
No. No, of course not. I mean, why would you? Unless we're talking think about it though, right? If they offered 36 stones for 3,100 units, the deal would get gobbled up. Wouldn't even have to.
Disgustingly, yes.
Wouldn't even have to think twice.
Easy.
Yeah, I would just be like, yes, please. Is there a limit?
Work says right there he'll be doing it. Yeah. He'll be spending.
And Mr. Fernandez, I almost guarantee if he's listening, oh yeah, without a doubt. And I was already it's pure coincidence. I was already asking hey, and a lot of it's because we have the incursion tournament coming up. It's I think I'm going to rank up these champions. And the kind of the tiebreaker for me is that I think they'll be great for incursions. And now, that is, it's just a matter of deciding which ones I want to do.
If you have Odin, I might actually recommend putting SIGs into Angela. Not for you, you ever get a good SIG, but for some people.
Yeah.
Because you might get the investment back.
Well, here's the thing. Oh, yeah, you're right. You'd get it back almost instantly. And I actually asked an Alliance chat about this today. The coincidence is bizarre. And I asked, I was like, here's the champions I'm thinking about ranking up. I was pretty sure I was going to take Angela to rank 2 anyway. I asked it on the Discord server, and last I checked, the poll was overwhelming. Like, yes, she's worthy of rank 2. And I believe it was Taters who responded to my question in the Alliance chat, and he's like, what SIG do you have her at? I said, oh, SIG 100. And he's like, okay. And he knew the SIG well, and he's like, just get her to where she's at 25% to per debuff, right? Or per buff. And I think DLL, you and I on the stream the other day realized I have her at like 24.85 or something. And
yeah, you've got her at the sweet spot.
yeah, so it'll just be another 6 stone or 2, and yeah, I'll get that back in the first run.
Yeah, because incursions potions are in an interesting spot where, relative to normal potions, I believe they are twice as much. Yeah, they are roughly twice as much for the same amount of health. 10,000 health in a normal quest is 28 units. 10,000 health in incursions is 46. But here's the thing, in incursions you're limited on items, whereas you are not on quests. So you have a strong incentive to buy the more expensive potions.
Interesting.
So I 100% expect people to spend to get to the end of those, to the end of Zone 20. But it's going to cost more than some of those people will be proud of.
I will say this is very cool to really care about these crystals.
Yeah. Well, and oh, wow. Remember when when that was like a really good crystal had a rare shot of a 3-star?
Yeah. Yeah. Roxas, have a feeling we're going to see a lot more. Yes, you definitely are. And as much as I enjoy the Sabotage stream, we might be seeing some regular incursion streams.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to want to do at least some where I have a hope of getting to 15.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Can you guys figure out why I have these? Like, I have a 4. I can select my name. Okay. I already know what name I'm going with.
Well, the other one's probably just going to be... Oh, I guess you can't pick profile pictures yet.
I tested to make sure. I don't think I want to add the 583.
Yeah. Fernandez has a good point. He says the strategy I'm planning on is to pay for potions to heal champs so that I can always take the hacks. And I think that would definitely be the most efficient way, yeah. Because, if you're if you can take buff cornucopia, that's way more efficient, especially if you're running like Aegon or a souped up Odin Angela or something.
Okay, well, we don't need to read the mail. Hey, I already got a friend request. All right, let's get back into this. That's a really smart call. Not surprising it comes from Mr. Fernandez. I like that idea a lot. Captain Dante, I might have to rank 3 in Max Sigma. So have you caught some of the 4 Loki streams, though, where he's doing like absurdly well? A lot of it's because of the ability to not take that much damage. That makes a lot of sense. There was, I think there's a bit of a discussion here about like the top cosmics, right? And if Angela's in there, I don't know. She's so new that I have to test her. Maybe what I should do is change my focus on doing a HUD review and change it to Angela. I'll take her to rank 2 and kind of give it like that. But I mean, the clear top mystics are Hype, CGR, Captain Marvel Movie, and Corvus, as Elias is listed there. Maybe Angela is up there, just below them with like a Venom.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like an Unduped or a Sig 20 Angela, Venom and Medusa will have significantly more uses. And even Cull, probably. But if you have a Sig 100 Angela, I can see putting her ahead of Venom.
Josh, was that you? Is that who was that you that just became friends with? The Trey is, I think, triggering that was you. So thank you for being my first friend. I appreciate that. I will say this: I am much better at this than like I feel like having a little bit of game knowledge is helpful. I would imagine this isn't overly difficult for a new player, but I think having a rough idea on how to play the game is obviously helpful at this point.
Yeah, like you know how combos work.
Yeah, even something as simple as that, right?
Yeah, and you have a better idea of when they're actually dashing forward, and so, I mean, you know what an intercept is, for that matter.
Yeah, and the AI, the defense AI, still feels better than the initial arena AI. And then also, I just saw that when I went to look, because I thought the things by my name were I thought they were mastery points, and what I realized is that parry is already unlocked.
Nice. Oh yeah, because I forgot they changed that.
It reminded me that like that happened at some point, and I didn't really fully get it. I was like, yeah, whatever, that's fine. As long as you're not taking it away from me, I don't care.
So all of these people will never know the pain.
No. Well, and also though, what's interesting is like, I don't remember it specifically, but I remember there being a lot of things where like I got used to playing the game a certain way, and then there was this thing that like, oh, clearly as you progress in the game, you're going to now play it this way. And I feel like parry was one of them, right? Like,
yeah, well, even dexterity, because I remember when I first started playing this game,
one of the things you least wanted to see was a particularly juiced up Iron Man. Because there was no parry to reduce damage with a well-timed block, and there was no dexterity. You were just going to eat that damage.
mm-hmm. Savvy, which one's you, dude? Let me know. Or is it like right in front of me? I just can't see it. I'm not going to read the mail just because I don't know. Like, what if that wasn't the intention or something like that, and it's public? But if that was you and you sent it and you want me to read the mail, we can do that. It'd be fun. I think that's kind of a cool interaction part of this I didn't really think about. Chris, that was you. Oh, nice, dude. Awesome. Yeah, we like to talk a lot on the streams, I think. Even if we're just testing stuff out, DLL is a wealth of knowledge on this game.
Did you see what Mr. Fernandez just posted? BG said in Alliance chat that this is a one-time 30-day event, not a repeating thing.
Why?
Yeah, did they not hear me? Do they not want all of the money?
So, not to get completely on the soapbox again, and I think if I had to like boil it down to like one word, be like, Vega, why are you so upset? Like, you're not usually upset, dude. What's the problem? But we only want to hear one word out of you on this. I would say reliability.
yeah.
Like, and I think this is like a great example of like, okay, that's cool for this one event, but like, does this mean it's always going to happen? It'll just be a different event. I'm going to rank up champions. Just, I don't know, whatever. I'm probably making a big deal out of nothing. You ever do that? You like hear yourself talking and you're like, okay, I'm going a little too far with this.
Yeah, I actually see, that's the thing. There is nothing in this post that suggests that. It says as of Monday, March 8, we'll be launching Incursions version 1.2. And then they list a bunch of new hacks, hack retunings, a bunch of new champions, and then it says this 30-day solo objective will challenge the mightiest summoners. It does not say for March.
Yeah. I think just not understanding the player base and like how excited they'd be, or just like we were talking about earlier about like programming us. Like we're just programmed to be like, yeah, okay, so there's bugs. Yeah, okay, so the pre-fight didn't work. Like, yeah, okay, they didn't test it. That's all right. I'm used to it. Dreamin', Vega's gone full soapbox lately. I have, and I think you're part of some of the chats where you've seen it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It is true. Clyde, what's up, man? We pinned a comment, but no one's asked in a bit, so I'll say, It's not going to be a pure free to play. The reason I'm even doing this is because I have forgotten most of Act 5. I've forgotten most of Act 6. And I get these questions quite a bit. And I want to be honest, and the honest answer is like, I don't remember. I really don't. And I also have the knowledge that if I did remember, or when I do remember, I always had by far the best option for those fights. And so instead of just saying like, I don't know, or I don't remember, or go check out this YouTube channel or whatever, I thought it'd be really cool to kind of get an idea of what it's like to be a new player in this game. You just get a sense of it, right? And so I'm going to, as quickly as possible, get to, as quickly as I can, right? Because I'm still going to prioritize my main account. I will, as quickly as possible, get to Act 5 and Act 6 and see how that goes. And test what it is it like to try to get through this content without every imaginable champion on your roster. But no, I will not be like popping cav crystals or anything like that on this account.
Well, I hope BG is wrong.
Yeah, I hope he is too, but he's probably not, huh?
I don't know.
I don't know. He might be wrong.
He's been wrong before.
This is true. He has. Despite even being in the CCP, sometimes they don't have all the information. Elias Vega, do you think that LOL Easy Path would be doable without a ton of effort and revives with an R5-6? And if so, who do I bring? This is like a perfect question for why I hope that I am able to really do this account the way I want to, is because I honestly have no idea. By the time I was doing LOL, I had Blade and I call him Sparky, but Spider-Man, Stark Spider-Man. And they were just amazing for the fights. I think Spider-Man was actually like fun for LOL. And so I just don't know, or at least I'm just not certain enough to give an answer. But I know Colossus can be great in it.
In Labyrinth?
Yeah. 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 There are videos on YouTube of Colossus in Labyrinth.
Well, that'd be interesting, because you would run out of stuns, and you could, of course, use, white mags for the most important fights, but not ever having access to the Fury would be kind of annoying, I would think.
Yeah, I have not seen the videos, but I know they are out there.
Yeah, I mean, his special damage does get up there. Really, at the end of the day, it depends. I know somebody who did a Path of Labyrinth with a 455 yellow jacket before his buff, just because he has a relatively high crit rate.
He was one of the options, right? One of the if you don't have Star-Lord.
I mean, he was way down on the list, but yeah, between Power Sting and he had a relatively high attack value, it was like, if you really want to do it now. Dreamin says bring Colossus and 3 white mags. Okay, that gives you 9 fights, smartass.
There it is. Hey, math teacher, never wrong.
Oh, gotta be Wolverine.
Yeah, I would think Wolverine.
Maybe Ultron? I don't know. Have you bled yet?
Wait, what? Oh, got it. I was like, huh?
This is not a Game of Thrones coded reference.
Yeah, I was like, what? Excuse me, Cersei? Wow, we just anyone who got that joke is now very uncomfortable. I almost guarantee it.
Yep.
Is there anyone in the chat who understood that joke and is also not uncomfortable? Please let me know.
This is what happens when Vega and I spend this much time together. We get on the same page and it gets weird.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's just keep pushing this. Because no one's saying no, dude, go back in 100%. So I think we'll just continue to push through. I'm not ranking anyone until I have to. The idea is to try to save ISO and things like that. That might be a place where I a little bit of not free to play comes into play.
I don't know if Work is saying he's very uncomfortable or that we're very weird.
Probably both. Barry, you guys are too close. References. And Elias, yeah, one better. No Colossus, just 5 white Magnetos, and you'll be Perry stunning forever. It actually is. It's so for those of you who like, because I think the community is just now kind of rounding into the idea that white Magneto might actually be good too. Mainly because red Magneto is just so off the charts. It's really fun to use the pre-fight for white Magneto. It's really cool. So anyways, Briefcase Show, I like it when you make it weird. Good. I'm glad we didn't just see like precipitous drop in viewers being like, I am never going back there. That place is bizarre. All right.
I know I already made this point once this week, but the thing about those incredible pre-fights is that if you actually use the champs they're attached to, you get more uses of them.
Yeah, it's true. Wait, what? One more time? Can you say that again? No, I'm being serious.
Oh, okay. Like just with White Mags and Reed especially, it's nice to actually win fights so that then you can recharge them.
Yes, got it. 100%. Josh, Trey, I'm not sure yet, man. I've been asked if I was going to do this for a while, and while I always said no because I figured I could change my mind, but I saw a lot of value in doing it. As far as I think being better as a resource for everyone, and for me to truly understand what it's like. I don't know, because there's a lot of benefits to being in an alliance too. The problem would potentially be time. I would hate to let anyone down if, like let's say I'm at the park with my family and I need to log in for AQ. I'm of course going to log on to the account that's in for Loki. And I would feel very badly about letting down anyone that was relying on me to log on in this one. Whose special was that? What the heck was that? I think I think it's just the Adaptoid one. I've seen it before. It didn't look totally.
You know why it looks weird to you? Because it's no longer in game. I don't think. Or no, that's still Iron Fist still has it. That's his L2.
Was it?
But it used to also be, I think, Punisher's and Winter Soldier's L2 as well. Not something we see very often.
Josh, thank you so much, man. If I get to that point, let's connect. We're friends in game, so we can contact on that. Like I said, I would just feel badly about letting anyone down. That's just how I am. I tend to feel overly badly about things. Like I'm the guy that will drive 40 minutes down the mountain on a family vacation to let my alliance know that I'm going to let them down, and they handled it exceptionally well. Dreaming that was Iron Fist. Yeah, okay, that's what DLL was saying. What quest is this, and what's with the 1 stars? Meta, dude. So basically, I am starting a new account for a variety of reasons, but the main idea is experiential learning, so that I can get a better idea of what it's like for players who are just getting into the game and don't have like every answer to fights. So many of the questions I get are about Act 5 and Act 6. I barely remember them, and if I do, I most definitely had the perfect answer to every single fight, and so I want to be better at what you're seeing me do right now, and that is give advice and that sort of thing. Dreamin', I felt great the second I relayed the information. It got so bad. My wife was like, seriously, you need to go contact these people because you're being a real downer. Like, we're on a family vacation. No, she knows me, of course. She knows me so well, and she's like, you're being a downer. You're acting like a stress case. Like, whatever you need to do, go do it. And yeah, it was against Kenobi and I think Noon, right? I think Noon's the one I fully missed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, based on Dreamin' yelling at you, that would be the one.
Well, he was particularly vested in it because it was him that was going to have to try to figure out how to take a Killmonger on Section 1, Path 9, and, everyone had already joined. Everyone had joined, assignments had been made, and so it's not like he was just going to be able to pull out an answer out of nowhere. Manny, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, it's a great way to die quickly.
If it was not for me, Vega, for Loki would be 1-8. It would be 1-8. But you know what else they'd be, Dr. Doom? They wouldn't be top 20 in AQ. So, it all balances out.
There we go.
Yeah, dude, I felt horribly about it. And in their own way, they each let me know that it was going to be all right. And so I did feel better. Manny, I'm feeling good, dude. The stream started with me being really salty and on a soapbox for what I think close to half an hour. And I got that out of my system, and really cool people like yourself keep stopping by. And me and DLL are having fun on the call. So this is a good day in my book.
Oh, do I still sound robotic? I feel like nobody's yelled at me about it yet.
If no one's saying anything, you probably don't. You definitely don't on my end, but you haven't before.
Maybe the firmware update actually worked.
I know, you were trying to blame my Discord. I'm still not good enough to play this. Well, I'm trying. While looking at my computer as opposed to the game. I'm missing parries really bad.
Okay. Back to back to blaming your Discord.
Work and Dreaming are pretty awesome. I agree with both of them. Meta, I know, dude. And you know what, Meta? Speaking of crystals, I did something really dumb last night. I was pretty down. I was pretty irritated. Not at the game. I love the game. I love the games, the friends I've made in the game. So my enthusiasm for the game remains. But I was just really down with Kabam, and I'd put a lot of work into a hood video that was going to be coming out this weekend. And I had stayed up late the night before to do the initial hood review. And I was just irritated. I was irritated about the whole thing. And I resorted to opening crystals. And I had saved like 50,000 6-star shards. And I was going to open the next featured. And I opened basic 6-star crystals last night. Even though I knew it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea because... if you have SIG 200 6 stars and you get a 6-star, you don't get anything for it. And wouldn't you know it, I got a Guardian. I duped my Guardian. And yeah, I did get a couple really good pulls in it though. So maybe the lesson wasn't fully learned. And that video will come out. So I won't say who all the other pools are. But there is a particularly bad pool from me going against my own principles and knowledge.
You are a brave person actually recording a video of you gambling while in a bad mood.
Well, so here's the word. Just so because you're right about that is I didn't even come down here and record it on OBS. I just recorded it in the game, and I was like, I don't want to be on. I don't want to record myself right now, and so it was just don't ever do it. It was like don't ever make the mistake I made. Rob, DL, you've always sounded like you're on an old electronic keyboard.
See, that's so frustrating because one of my nicest Christmas presents was this relatively expensive headset that my brother got me, which should work well with Discord.
What are we thinking? Should I go first into the offensive tree?
I would probably go for...
I'm going to want to unlock Dex, right?
Well, Dex is already unlocked.
No, it's not. Oh, you start off with rank 1.
Yeah. I think I might stay in proficiencies, though, because getting extra block proficiency on your parries and longer stun could be nice.
Yeah. All right. J-Rock Raid. Thank you so much, J-Rock, and everyone just stepped on over. And I'm not going to touch that, but it is making me laugh, the hashtag. That's hilarious. Okay. Or did I just make that creepy? Was it not creepy and I made it creepy?
No, that's on him.
Okay, cool. Dex. Okay, Jocko's saying Dex. Good. Vega, you ever think you're recording a video and then after open all your crystals? I have not made that mistake in a while, but yes, it's definitely happened to me a couple of times, and it's very frustrating because you can't recreate that, right? The one mistake I do still make, probably like once every 2 or 3 weeks, is I accidentally hit start stream and not start record. And some people catch it. I'll see it too. Like usually I'll get a DM from someone on Discord and they'll be like, hey dude, you're live, but you don't realize it. And that's always a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. J-Rock, man, thank you so much for bringing some folks over. How was your stream today? Thinking we might be getting to the point where we might need to rank up a few champions. Maybe not yet. This is still going fine. Getting a little bit better at playing off the screen.
Yeah.
And then I just took a hit to the face, so maybe not.
Those stuns feel short, though.
Yeah, I better stare at the phone.
True Potential says I'm tempted to rank 2 Classic Spidey for funsies. I'm gonna save you on that one. Don't. It's not fun. I have a rank 5 5-star. He's just not fun to play. You'll occasionally get okay damage on his armor break, but it's not that big an armor break. It doesn't stack. He doesn't really have anything that capitalizes on it. And on top of that, he's infuriating to play because he will evade even on parries. And so half the time you'll be like, yeah, I parried that guy, and then you evaded, and then they punch you in the face.
And so thank you for pointing out, I did miss an evade, or not an evade, a revive. And that's definitely something to start getting used to, as searching those out. And DLL is on call. He and I have got to know each other really well during season 1 of Wars. That's just how long ago it is. And then we've off and on been in the same alliance many times over that time. And you're an SSX1, right? So perennial master tier alliance.
Yeah.
And it definitely was weird. Okay, cool.
For Loki feeder.
Yeah, there's quite a few people bouncing around there, right?
Yeah. Hi, Josh. You still find revives in potions and quests you have fully explored? Yes, you can. Actually, one of the most popular ways of farming revives is, I believe it's in Act 5, Section 3. You need keys for it, which you have to like ask for, but there will very often be revives and energy refills in that. But you know, some of those quests are a little annoying play, because I think those are the ones with the reduced attack values, and they still take 3 energy, so it's mainly something that you're going to want to do after you've cleared all other content.
Someone was saying I need to start ranking up champions. You know what we'll do is after I clear this quest, maybe take a look at that and just see. So far, I'm not having any trouble clearing stuff, and so I'd like to save it until I struggle a little bit, or at least maybe I get a higher star level champion. I'm going to start seeing, I tested a little bit ago if backdrafting was working at all, but the AI is just not aggressive enough. We'll see if if that's changed. And then we'll take a look at the friends list too. This might be one where we have a little bit of trouble.
I think he'll be okay. He got 3 champs and he has no nodes.
That's true. Good point.
Man, this is taking me back.
It is, right? I mean, I recall one of the few things I recall was the feeling of like it is so cool to see these heroes, right? And then the other one was how quickly you advance, which is even back in my day of playing WoW, that was very common. Oops, shouldn't do that. That you advance.
Early levels are always easy.
Yeah, and you do it quickly, to get you moving through the game.
You planned that, right? To get the double fury.
Oh, 100%, 100%. That was a strategic move at the highest degree. The game would be better if energy didn't exist. Yeah, but again, like I think, well, I've done enough. They're programming us talking today, but I think that's part of it. Is that helps you then either need to get more energy or to be logging in on a consistent schedule, right? Because your energy is going to refill, so you'll make the time to log in.
It's also one of the least painful ways to monetize the game.
Yes, that's true.
Because you can just wait.
And to be clear, I'm definitely one of the people who's like, the Kabam exists to make money. They don't exist to entertain us. And so they make money via entertaining us. And so I do understand that they need to have ways to make money. I'm not trying to take that away from them. So I'm not seeing anyone that I really want to rank up at the moment. Let's see if I have crystals. Looks like I do. I thought I do. I'm seeing a notification for something that's just not there. You guys aren't seeing any crystals, are you? Oh, the quest crystals.
Oh, check your objectives.
So it's just
bottom right.
Oh yeah, good call. Oh wow, so these are really nice to have now. Oh yeah, there's going to be a grip of crystals. Good call. Can I do this more quickly through the stash?
If they've loaded, yeah, you probably should be able to, but, well, maybe not, because you're not, like, clicking a bunch of things.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. I got the feather. Has that all been fixed yet? Do we know?
It was never broken for me. I know that's not helpful.
Well, it actually kind of is.
Okay, it looks like you have to go through the...
Yeah. We'll get through this quickly, and then we'll open those crystals, or as quickly as we can, and then open the crystals. Vega, the 6 stones will be crystals. Kabambu responded to post and said it would be crystals, and it's definitely only a 30-day thing. This isn't like a repeating. This isn't going to be static in the game. I was getting really excited about incursions and that being a usual thing in the game. Man, I've completed a lot of objectives apparently.
They are signature stone crystals. The post has been updated to reflect. I mean, it hasn't, but they can say that.
See, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like we've just grown accustomed to it.
Has.
Okay, good.
Because I refreshed immediately before checking.
There we go. And okay, I'm not going to read the mail in game, guys. Just well.
Okay, this is hilarious. On that forum post, somebody goes, well, considering it's a 30-day objective and how difficult Sector 8 can get, I think that it has to be generic. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. And then immediately below that is an official response that says, nope, the crystals.
So I'm not going to go through the messages. Thank you for them, and I will eventually go through them. I'm not going to do it on stream because, again, I want to respect privacy, but also I will forget. I am a semi-forgetful person, and so if I don't have the notification for them, I will likely forget they are there. The notifications what will remind me to check them. Let's go ahead and open up these crystals and then see if we're gonna just keep progressing or if we're gonna rank anybody. I think 2 stars. I don't know if that's exciting enough to spin. Let's just pop them. Just first person that says spin or pop, we'll do that. I always forget there's a little bit of a delay. I might try a shorter delay. This feels like talking to someone you're just not sure if they're listening. Pop. Okay, pop it is. There we go. Thank you. Ooh, oh no, our Spider-Man is a 1 star. Thought maybe we duped our 2 star. I can work with this. Pretty cool. Okay. And then let's jump into the you know who I actually kind of do want to rank up is Hulkbuster. Let's rank him up a little bit.
Gamora might be kind of fun too.
Yeah, actually that would be, so that's like an example of a champion who, I mean, by the time she was buffed, I had no use for her. But I could see her being useful.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. Sabby, that's a very difficult question. Promoted to officer, hoping I could get some advice on how to be a good officer. I mean, there's a lot of things to say, you know, try and communicate with your players, you know, talk to them on the side. Remember that this is a game that we play with friends, right? That's why we're still here. It's not just, you know, this isn't an esport. None of us are getting paid, and sometimes it helps to say that out loud again. The other thing about being an officer is just, I think officer burnout is one of the most frequent causes of people stepping back or retiring or leaving this game, because it makes all of the other stresses that much more intense. And while it's great that you're taking that step up to help your team, I completely understand. Remember to also kind of take care of yourself and put some limits on it.
Okay, so Gamora's already way overpowered for the content.
That is.
Drops, thank you, Josh. Thanks for stopping by the stream. If you're still there, I appreciate it. Go for it.
The other thing I was going to say is try to set things up so that you avoid duplicating effort if you're going to be an officer. Like, you know, if it's kind of annoying to enter it into spreadsheets, but if you're going to be setting defense, then like take a picture of it. Ask your people to place it, stuff there. If you're going to have people on certain alliance quest paths, you know, don't just write it down in notes, but also keep that elsewhere, maybe with little notes for alternates for yourself. Like, there are little things you can do that you'll figure out as you go that prevent you from asking a bunch of questions and having to look over everybody's roster in the future.
Yeah, that's a big one. And in my limited times as being an officer, I just always appreciate the people who like did stuff. You know, like it's the off season, so I didn't feel too badly. But like the fact that Mr. Fernandez had to come in and be like, "Hey, dude, can you place your defense?" I was like, I saw the notifications. I just multiple times chose not to do it, and so that's on me, right? So I guess that's not an officer question. That's just kind of a how to be a better alliance mate question or answer. Oregon dude, what's up, man? Yeah, so we're doing something here. The idea is for me to if I can stick with it, which it is my intention to, I just don't know how quickly it'll happen, is to get to like the Act 5, Act 6 area and have a better idea of what those quests are like now. That way, when I get asked these questions, I can better answer them than I do now. And also, when I went through Act 5 and Act 6, I had like every single answer to every single fight. The roster was just huge. And so getting there and having more limited resources or more limited rank ups and kind of experiencing what that is like, I think would be really good. One, I think it'd be interesting. I do think I would enjoy it. I think it's a fairly entertaining stream. And I feel that it would make me better at this as far as being a resource who could really talk about these things in a more educated way than I currently do. In fact, I wonder how many players of the current like active game playing community don't realize how much this has all been changed. The progression from Act 1 through Act 5. Because how long ago was that? Do you recall?
Sorry, what specifically? I was reading chat.
Well,
What
like
was changed?
the progression of just the progression of it, like even just how you move through it, of Act 1 through Act 5, right? Wasn't that changed over the last couple of years?
Different things.
Yeah.
Like they changed how quickly energy came back, I think. Or no, sorry, that's the sigil. See, it's even harder for me to remember this stuff, but they've added different crystals and reward buffs multiple times throughout it. They've reduced energy for some of the quests. Like early on, you got that special 2-star Nexus crystal. Nexus crystals didn't exist when we started this game.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The other thing is that both fragments and shards did not exist when we started this game. And so you couldn't progressively build up, okay, and now I can open a 4-star because I've been working on this. The only way to get a guaranteed 4-star wasn't the first one like you had to finish Act 3 completely and then you got a 4-star crystal and that was your first 4-star? Like, things used to be so weird.
Yeah, I honestly don't recall. I would bet that by this point in time in my first time going through this, I had ranked all my champions up. Like I was like thirsting for ISO, like you wouldn't believe. I would be almost positive of it that I did not do what I'm currently doing. My resource management was probably terrible.
Milkman, Meta was a member of 4Loki back in the day, yeah. My understanding is he retired for a while for whatever reason and then came back to us.
And Paul, yeah, so I referenced that at some point. It hit me pretty early that I won't be able to completely know what it's like to be a brand new player because, and DLL pointed out, he's like, well, you're doing 5-hit combos. Like I was trying to do backdrafts to see if the AI was aggressive enough for it. So like, yeah, 100% I agree with you. 100%.
Yeah, you've already had your Neo transformation.
I've already been plugged in.
Yeah. He's beginning to believe.
Dude, so my wife really wanted to rewatch those recently because they made a 4th one and I think it's supposed to come out later this year. Mm-hmm. And so my wife really wanted to rewatch all 3 of them. They are still so good. They are still like they hold up shockingly well, at least to me. I really liked them, and it was really interesting to me to see like. They don't really hide the ending. I remembered when it ended, and just in case someone hasn't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it.
I've actually only seen the first one.
Okay, then I'm not going to say. I will say this. I remembered not loving 2 and 3 as much as I loved 1. On a rewatch, I loved all 3 of them. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see. Organ Dude says the account they're playing right now was originally an alt, but all of their polls were better. Dude, you are not even close to the first person I know who's had that happen.
We've known a lot of people, yeah.
That's funny how that works.
In fact, didn't we know someone who did that pretty late in their, like...
I think there was somebody at WA
yeah.
when it was, like, deep into Masters seasons, and people were, like, I don't think that person did it, but they were seriously considering it, and I think it has been done, even late. Weird. Milkman also says I once got kicked from an alliance for refusing to become an officer. That's one of those things where you say good riddance, dude. Because, I mean, yeah. Officers are incredibly important to alliances, and it's always a good thing, like when somebody's willing to be one. It's what holds the good ones together, right? But it's not paid, and you don't force that kind of labor.
So there's a Paul. So I mean, I guess logically, I realize it's that old. I wouldn't have guessed that though, just off the top of my head. But I recall like where, like the time of life I was in when it came out. My wife also
I
had
was in kindergarten.
exactly, and that's part of why you probably haven't seen 2 and 3. Is my wife also recently wanted to rewatch the Lord of the Rings movies, and I loved those. Right, like I would have listed those as some of my favorite movies of all time.
Be very careful where you're going with this.
Okay, I will. Is I did not feel as though the special effects of it held up nearly as well as The Matrix.
Whoa. Okay, that's not how I was expecting to be offended, but that is a hot take.
Yeah, and this is all within around the same like month and a half, 2 months of time, because obviously those are lengthy movies, and so rewatching them takes a bit of time.
Because they did a ton of practical effects for that.
They did, and it was very good. I'm not trying to take away from Lord of the Rings. There were a few things where I was like, I don't know if I like that. But I'm referring to the special effects. I was shocked at how well Matrix held up, and I was shocked at how well Matrix held up on its own, period. Additionally, I felt like it held up significantly better, special effects wise, than Lord of the Rings.
Okay. I will accept that important qualification because those movies are basically perfect adaptations.
Yeah.
I can see chat blowing up as I say that.
Well, so I will tell you my kind of quote unquote like on review what I did not like about Lord of the Rings. I did not, and I recall kind of not liking it at the time when I first saw it. But I was so just blown away by the movie and the story and the whole like entering the world of it. Like, yeah, I really felt like I was part of it, and that was, I thought they did that so well done. What I did not like was how, and as I in review, what really stuck with me was how many shots there are of Frodo, just looking pained, just him looking like, just really, really like. I'm not going to do the face, yeah, because it's an uncomfortable face to see, but it is, and it's like throughout the movie, like there's just so many times where Frodo is just, he looks like he's doing something that you should do in private, you know, and
one criticism, I'm totally, yeah, I'm with you for that.
No, Chris, I'm not going to do the face, man. Although you probably see me do it at various times. Like if I have a bad crystal pool or something, you'll probably see me do it. But it's like you kind of feel like, oh, I'm sorry, I just walked in on someone in the bathroom, and you shut the door quickly. That's the face he was making. Is, you know, like what, for some reason this person left the door cracked and the lights are off or something. I don't know. And you just open it and you walk in, and yeah, Sam and I don't know. I feel like that's a dangerous topic, but yeah, Sam.
I have no problem with that whole thing.
Well, because they're hobbits, right? Isn't that kind of part of their like culture? That
well, I think it's not just that. It's also just like Tolkien himself was very like chill about, you know, you love your fellow man type of thing, and I don't think he really gave a damn what anybody thought because he fought in a war, right? Didn't?
Yeah, and to be very clear, I think that I think the thing with Sam and Frodo, I think, is more about not being concerned with being like overly masculine. I think period. I think that's it. I think reading in anything more is I don't think is necessarily there nor backed up by the books. And then if that's in Clerks too, I've forgotten about it. I definitely have, but I wasn't trying to steal someone else's bit. Although I do find it funny. And then yes, Agent Smith versus Neo is amazing, but I don't. Let's not do any spoilers. Let's not do any spoilers. I don't think that's a spoiler, but I don't want to go too much farther on it.
Let's see. We had a couple old things. For one thing, Oregon Dude said that when he switched over, he was 15,000 deep on his main.
Ooh. Although our buddy may have been even farther. I think we're thinking of the same guy. He retired recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sabby also asked, how do you decide who to kick? Dude, that's the single least fun thing in this entire game.
Yeah, it
because
is.
Sometimes the right answer is your favorite person.
Yep.
And there's no way around that. It's become easier these days to stay in touch with, some of the friends that you're not actively in an alliance with. You see Vega and me right now. But the alliance ultimately has to have a clear vision of what it wants to be. And if you want to be a chill spot where anyone can play as long as they show up, and maybe they get kicked if they don't log in for 2 weeks or something, then that's still a clear vision. But it sounds like if you're asking that question, you probably have specific goals that you want to hit with alliance quest completion and with a war placement. And if you're thinking that way, then again, clear goals such that the officers can say, this person, however much we like them, is either hanging or not hanging. And that's really all it is.
Rob, go.
Personal.
No worries. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I jumped in early on a pause. Rob saying the prequels are better. Are you talking about the Lord of the Ring ones? Graphically, no. I think he might be talking about the graphics, and I think.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's probably true. They did come out later, right?
There's actually a lot of impressive things about the Hobbit movies. The music is a masterclass in score writing.
Well, and you're a musician too, so I think you're really going to notice those. 20
minutes.
And then I wanted to mention a few things about officer stuff because it kind of started to delve into a few different things. And these are great questions because I learned in my kind of coming up in this game and stuff like that. And because of whaling and then also just really enjoying the game, I progressed significantly faster. I kind of outgrew 2 alliances, and in both of those alliances, I really liked a lot of people. I enjoyed chatting with them and things like that. And so in both of them, I kind of made the same mistake. You'd think I would have learned, and I did a little bit because I didn't make the mistake as bad. But in both of them, what I did is I tried to get the alliance to grow with me because I didn't want to leave, my MCOC friends. I badly did not want to do that. Some of them were progressing at the game at not quite the same rate, but a close enough rate. And so, we'd have people who wouldn't show up for war. And then that would really bother me. And so I would get very frustrated by that. And if I could give that person advice, if I could give me in that time advice, it would be to just accept that that's not what this alliance is. That this alliance is much a more casual player. And instead of trying to evolve the alliance to where they're playing closer to where I am, just move up in it. And a lot of that, though, is also because I just didn't know things. DLL remembers when we first started talking, there was just so much stuff that I didn't know. There was stuff 3 months, there's stuff literally the last 2 weeks that I have learned that apparently so many of the people in the community know. And I had no clue. And so just it's about making sure that the alliance fits how you want to play. I think that's in essence what I'm trying to say. And that's whether you're an officer or not an officer. And so if you're an officer, figure out how it is that your alliance wants to play. And then if there's players in there that don't want to play that way, then have as peaceful and as nice of a separating as you possibly can. Because that's the other thing. People get really upset. I know that I pissed a lot of people off along my way because, they felt like they were forced to play a certain way or not, or you know, we were friends, and then I left to go play elsewhere, and so it seemed like I was, you know, kind of leaving them in the dust when that wasn't my intention. My intention was just to play at a more rapid rate, and so it gets sensitive, right? It's like when good friends move to another town because they think that town's better. Some people get a little insulted by that.
I've been the one who's left, I've been the one who's left behind, and I've been many, many times the person making the call to kick.
Yeah.
And none of the three are fun. I haven't been kicked in this game yet. When I played Strike Force for a little bit, I got kicked right before I quit, which, you know, obviously they were related, but...
Was that the other Marvel game that we played for a bit?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I still think Capcom still plays it. It looks like it's doing pretty well, but I can't do two.
Yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't enjoyable for me. Wow, this has flown by. I cannot believe how long we went. I actually have to go. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. DLO, of course, as always. Thank you for being on the call. I'll probably put something on the Discord just to be like, hey, did people like this? I think people did. I think I'll probably do it regardless because I want that experience, like we were talking about. I think it'll make me better at this, at exactly what we're looking at. But it's how much we stream it versus stream playing on the main Vega account. I think I'll get some insights on the Discord server from it. So thank you everyone who stopped by. DL, did you want to add anything?
Are we potentially going to be back today?
Ooh, dude, when do you need to know? And I'm sorry, this is my fault for not having a firm answer.
Honestly, whatever. I'm just planning on it. I'm busy until your 3:30, and so then I need half an hour. So just anytime around then, let me know.
Okay, I'll definitely let you know by 3:30. For those who don't know, DL and I were planning to do an incursions run together today, a sabotage one. So we were going to play against each other, and that was going to be at about 4:00 Pacific, right?
Yeah.
But I have a lot of work to catch up on, so we'll see if I can get through it. But I would like to. So I'll let you know, and then DM me if you need to know sooner. Okay, buddy?
Yeah, sounds good. Looking forward to the Angela play if we do.
For sure. Monkey, apologies, buddy. You got in just for us to be signing off. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for everyone who stopped by. Yeah, I think we signed on later today, so Z was probably already in bed. So take care, everyone. Have a great one. See you soon.